Mr. Chairman, and appreciate y'all, your public service. I'm a pastor and community servant.
Would you state your name, please?
My name's Daniel Lord, pastor, and I'm actually the pastor that wants to put a church in the old movie theater that Mr. Murphy was describing. And for us, we have 370 dilapidated parking spots. I grew up in the community. I've lived there, and my wife and I went on our first date in the movie theater, and it is the biggest eyesore in the region. The parking lot is a minefield. People know that. It's an embarrassment. It lowers property values. 370 parking spots would mean 37 EV stations for a church. For me to take the donors' money from my church that could go to food for the hungry. We feed thousands of people every year. We have a 10,000 square foot warehouse in a rural, poor community south of St. Louis. We have food trucks. We have diaper programs for moms in need. How am I going to go to my donors, my church family, and say, hey, we need to get some EV stations, 37 of them, and I'm going to have to I need you to give more money so we can open another location of our church to help people and those that are in need. We have to take away from youth group and kids programs and mentoring. You can get the idea where this is at and the undue hardship. And I would say, the word has been used in this hearing today about local control. That's what we're experiencing, is control. Instead of the public servants serving the public servants that we cannot appeal to or vote out are putting controls on us that we can't serve the public good. And I'm just one church. Think of we're not talking businesses. I appreciate the businesses, but the YMCAs and the community centers and the preschools and the daycares and all the other churches that will that are bearing this hardship. So I would ask you, and I appeal to you as a higher power to be able to step in and to vote for this and change it.
My name is Bob Poley, and I pastor a church called Grace Union, and we're kind of the other side of that. So we finished a building renovation, trying to make our property nicer. It's the old Rhodes Furniture Store, which was an eyesore in the community. We turned it into a church a few years back. Recently, the church has grown. We've been able to try to improve it, make it look nicer. We renovated the face of the building. We really wanted to change the parking lot, which was just a large black urban island of blacktop. It was full of potholes, everything else. And so we drew up a plan. I've actually brought my computer if anyone wants to look at it later. Beautiful plan, center walkway down the middle of the parking lot, trees over it, lights. It was going to be safer. Direct traffic through the middle of the walkway, a little patio up front. We house multiple halfway houses and AA groups that use our building all throughout the week. They use meeting space. Anyway, so we were going to do all that, but then we ran into the problem that we would have to install about 20 charging stations. And so the end result is that our building on the inside looks really nice, and the parking lot looks exactly the same. So we have a black urban island still in front of our building that otherwise would have looked very nice, but it would have more than doubled the cost of the parking lot. And so we ended up spending $150,000 to just overlay it, put all the stripes in the same place, because you can't change anything. You can't change where any signs are or anything else, because if you do that, then it incurs the cost of doing all that. Would have been $280,000 or something like that. And that's only, I think the bill says that you have to provide wiring and trenching for 10% of the spots, and then there's a smaller percentage, but even at that, it was over $100 and something thousand. And so the end result is I recognize the bill was written trying to improve things, and I think it actually is doing the opposite. And so we've chosen not to improve something because we just didn't have the money. So that's kind of the end result for us. So,
Questions? Representative Clemens. Proceed.
So you took in mind when you're looking to draw up and remodel your parking lot, green spaces. Is that correct?
Right.
And do those green spaces provide trees or just bushes and shrubs?
They would have been trees and bushes and shrubs, yeah.
So you would have actually provided some shade to the parking lot?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to be clear about thank you for being forward thinking that
Right.
way. Thank you.